Minerva up again. They're sending the boy out first up, and it's gonna be I just had your name last time. Andrea? Andrea. That's gonna take me a second every single time. The E and the A, which is the first two letters of your name, are just gonna scuff me up every single time. Minerva tried to see if they can get a strong opener versus Atreya as they're looking for the escape. The last catches him out in the open. The Fire Elemental joins the game. And that's gonna be the static totem, not letting him go anywhere. Big zaps available for Atreya. Trying to see if he can force out a cloak out of the rogue. The rogue could be going down here. May have to cloak really early. Gonna be a cloak as another set of lightning bolts comes in. Lava burst flying by the shaman. Minerva gets a cannon shot onto the shaman's in, and Trinket vanishes out of sight. Atreya actually was looking in Rogue's direction. Still should have a flame shark rolling on him, most likely. Or maybe the pet dot? Looks like, yeah, with that cloak of shadows, none of the pet dots or anything was applied. The rogue was able to vanish before any of those abilities were applied on him, so he does get himself a clean reset. But does the rogue wait out for the fire elemental completely? He's hovering next to Andrea, is gonna go for the killer shot, booping him out of the way. The shadow stamp and shadow strikes do keep coming back in though, with another cheap shot. Andrea taking a lot of damage until blind by the rogue. He's going for the cheesy strat, does the Kevin slime. Give the rogue in combat though. Please tell me, Kevin. No, the dot kept him in combat for a second. Earth elemental is coming out for Andrea. At least has a Earth Elemental to clobber the rogue next time he goes in for the opener, and the wall in order to give Andrea a little bit more of a defensive value. Trying to go for a heal. I'm surprised Kevin wasn't able to just go around the corner and start spinning Minerva. Like, you already had the Necrolord ability rolling in. Minerva going for the trinket. Atreya has the defensive. That could be enough to let him survive. Last to separate from the rogue. Puts him in the corner. He just puts the baby in the corner. Trying to go for a bit of recovery while Minerva's out there dealing with the totem and dealing with the Earth Elemental. At least for Atreya, this is a bit of defense going back in with the Flesh Cat helping him recover entirely. As Minerva trying to see maybe go for a resap. And go again. Trinket available for the shaman. The rogue has the trinket as well. Cloak, vanish, evasion. Actually, the rogue has everything here. So potentially could go for a big resonator. Atreya chooses trinket at the last second. Probably is a good move because himself wasn't really going to be able to eat the resonator and survive it easily. Big lava burst coming down versus Minerva. Could go for a cloak of shadows. Does burn a cloak really early. Still lava burst fly down for Atreya. Kind of unfortunate. Trying to keep himself alive as best possible. The fire elemental not fading. I thought it faded for a second. Like the last of Minerva has a trinket to break out of it. Slowed by the Earthbind totem. Is going to get himself out in the open with a shadow strike. Stun totem for a second. Gives Atreya an opportunity to at least get a heal. Minerva tried to see. Maybe could get an interrupt on it. Atreya with a wall. Lava burst to follow blind. The rogue actually does get lava bursted for a ton of damage. Kevin Slimer around the corner. I don't know if he's going to be able to let him escape. It's going to be a shadow dance immediately for a cheap shot. Does he have a knockback for the rogue at all? Does he have any tools of survivability? Maybe Earth Elemental. This is where you need to use something, anything. 6 minutes to duel. Double Earth Shocks onto Minerva. Don't really get the crits he need. Like the last one, at least keep the rogue away. Rogue gets kind of low on L. Going to be a flesh cap interrupted. Get a shot to follow right after. Minerva tried to see if they can finish it off with a couple of Viscerates out of that Kyrian burst. Atreya, he sees one more set of lava bursts onto this rogue. This way, I don't know if you push up or if you get aggressive or if you back up. Kevin Slime trying to get pressure onto Minerva. Is going to be able to dive into stealth. Is there a Flame Shark rolling on this rogue? This low is going to get him out in the open. Flame Shock out in the open. Maybe you have a Lava Burst right now. Does have a static totem for a second. Lava Burst flying in. Do you have any more procs? Lasso, I think it's going to be over. And I think he gets the rogue down. Unless he got nothing left. Lava Burst at the very end. Took us a little bit. The rogue caught a lot of restalls back to back. Cloak of Shadows. The stun looks onto Atreya. The boy had to play it very carefully. But I'm seeing that Atreya is not playing a Ascendance build. At least I don't think he ever got an Ascendance proc. So I wonder what kind of a legendary Atreya is playing. Could be playing more defensive legendary, which is maybe why he had so much survivability. Maybe he was playing the Earth Shield Lego for survivability, just so he could tank up the damage. Kioska going to be up next. Try to see if he may be able to get Atreya down. Last time, Kioska was Kyrian. And that Kyrian helped him out a ton. Is he still Kyrian this time around? Like the lasso, as Atreya goes for a chicken really early, this gives the Kioska an opportunity to control the shaman quite a bit here. Stuns as freezer traps are going to be extremely effective here. Atreya with a wall, try to see maybe if he can put some pressure into Kioska while offsetting the damage, not having to focus on his own health whatsoever for a little bit. Kyrian bursts down, stun, Atreya, unless you have a trinket, that's going to be free damage on Kioska. Nothing you can do. It's going to leap right after you with a flank strike, trying to keep the pressure rolling. The static totem to separate the two. Kioska focusing on it for a second, gives Atreya at least a couple of globals to catch up a heal, but the muzzle is going to prevent him from continuing to keep himself restored. Kioska with cooldowns looking to end it here. Freeze the trap onto Atreya as I have no help whatsoever. Next kill shot could be it. Kioska trying to go for manic bandages. Isn't going to give Atreya an opportunity to escape. Try to see if he can purge him with all the buffs. Gonna be the movement while healing surges are up. Flash come while moving. Actually able to get himself a bit of recovery. And Kiosko, I think, maybe have missed his chance to capitalize here. Like Elastic gonna get Kiosko kind of low. Could be a deadly situation for this Hunter. Unless you have yourself the Kyrian burst back up, it could actually be kind of deadly for you. And Treya just try to see if he can maybe fish out for them lava burst procs. If he gets the fatty proc for Kioska, looking for the Necrolord setup, Kioska faints it for a moment. Could be still big lava burst out of Treya. If he gets the lucky proc, he may decide to go for it. Or as I mentioned, join in. That's going to give Treya a little bit of a defensive. Does burn it really early. He's just attacked by the pet. Static totem. Not much of a defense he needs, but Kioska does does get around the pillar to close onto the shaman. The rest of the match will try to give a defensive and give him as much of an opportunity to survive, but couldn't quite do it, man. And that's going to be Unreal. I keep thinking maybe, I keep trying to figure out like if their name has like a play on words. Unreal sounds like unreal, the word unreal. Unreal. I think maybe it's like Unreal Red, but no. It just doesn't have enough in there. I think we'll call you Real Mad Bear burst on the Kioska just out of nowhere. Immediate tricking by the Hunter. Davin and Turtle Shell looking for their recovery. Unreal decided to just give some Unreal burst. Freezing trap to follow, and Kioska with a feigned death looking for the full-blown reset camo. This could potentially be an opportunity for the Paladin to just go and pick up eyes, but that's Steel Trap is going to keep him in place. Stun onto Unreal. Does he burn a trinket? Blessing of Protection could be purged. Does get purged by Kioska. So he continue the onslaught onto Unreal, who's just going to follow up and turn the attention onto the pet. This is where Kioska actually pulls it back. Pulls back his pet as best as he can. Just so he keep it alive. Doesn't have to worry about it for a while. Is going to go for a bit of a reset versus Unreal. Maybe waiting for yet another stun. It's about a minute CD on that thing. Unreal could be an opportunity for him to maybe close the gap. Going to be the Aegis, trying to see if he can prevent some of that magic damage from the Paladin. Is going to try to see if he can cleave right through the Aegis. Freezing trap to stop him. Trinkets out of it immediately. And is going to try to see if he can stay on the toes of Kioska. Does Kioska have a Kyrian ability right here? Maybe he's going to wait until the Kyrian and the stun yet again. He got to see if he can maybe get a bubble out of Unreal. If he can somehow get a bubble out of Unreal before he has to pop Kyrian, then it's going to be a pretty easy game, and it's going to kill him fast enough before the dampening will ramps up. But I think he may have to go for a long game, 4 cities on Unreal, unless he can somehow go for that Kyrian and interrupt him mid-cast of Holy Light. Maybe he can make something happen. Quick camo for a second, does go for that Kyrian. Stun on Unreal, going to force a bubble out of this man immediately. 100% going to force a bubble out of him. And Kioska eats the stun immediately. Pet sack, is that going to be enough though? Unreal doesn't have wings. But maybe he can get himself proc wings very, very soon if he is running the Vengeance aura, which we won't really know if he... Oh, he does. Actually, we do see it. Unreal is still kind of low, though. Chasm recovered enough from the bubble shield of Vengeance with the Aegis. It's going to actually help him through a lot of the magic damage Kioska does with the grenades, fiery damage, and the Serpent Sting poison dot. So it's actually quite a lot of his tools. We'll be able to block a good portion of the Hunter damage. Wings are up for the Paladin. Stun on Kioska. Does he have any out? It's going to be Mad Burst on the Paladin. Does end up taking him out. And so far, we just see the Shaman, the Rogue, and the Hunter, and the Paladin duel. We're heading to the 5-minute mark, boys. We still have Jesus over in Team 1. We got Christbed in the back. And Kib is going to be up next. Stun on Unreal. I don't think he's going to give an opportunity to live. Just a quick execute, and he's going to be done for the count. Silence to follow. Just try to see if he can kill him without having to burn cooldowns. But it ended up burning silence. Wait, Unreal actually still surviving this fear to follow. Does Kib have enough damage? Does he have the execute he needs? Trying to see if he can go for a bit of a VT. Stun into Kib. Is Unreal just going to die to dots, or is Kib actually going to have to pop a cooldown here? He's trying not to. He's trying to see if he doesn't need to. That's going to be execute. It's not going to be enough. Unreal trying to see if he can maybe just continue the pressure. He's just going to get a CC onto that Mages of the Dead. Trying to avoid void eruptions. Trying to avoid the mortar of void running out, just flying out. I was able to do a pretty good job with it. Kim decided just to hold his ground. And it's going to use the pet to maybe Mind Seer off of him, maybe find the Rogue out in the open. Actually, almost finds him. I think the pet actually was in a general location for Gloosh. Gloosh lands a kid shot into Kib. Does he burn a trinket? Potentially disperse. Is going to choose to go for a disperse Gloosh. I think Gloosh is trying to see if he maybe can get cooldowns out of Kib, like a trinket. If he can do that blind reset, and he'll be good to go. Kib trying to see if he can push up. Maybe those void eruptions will actually hit the Rogue. But the Rogue is way too quick. Dives behind the pillow, looking for that cover. Dives at the south. That's going to be a quick snap with Kib. You know it's going to force a trinket out next. Maybe with a fear. Is going to have to find a way if he can maybe potentially time a greater fate for a blind. That's the only way I think he survives it. Unless trinkets, greater fade. Maybe if you're right after, got himself full PI, looking to get some downs on the Gloosh. Gloosh interrupts him with Shadow, taking him out. Oh my god, looked like Gloosh was gonna go for a reset. Forcing the Shadow Pins, trying to get aggressive, trying to catch him with a dot. Shadow step to trick him out. Man, those Shadow steps take a little step from another zip code. It is so incredible. It's incredibly powerful. It's actually kind of insane. Yeah, how far he can Shadow step from. And it has a shorter cooldown. That's not a big deal. That distance, though, he can cover so much into a succubus CC as he's trying to get an opener onto Kreisbad. Immediately triggers a succubus CC, but a Necrolord setup for Kreisbad is going to meet him right after Mordecai with a fear. Kreisbad is going to pour it out of the try to see if he can take up at a 55% damage. The Dark Pact is barely doing much for you. Drop it down Infernal onto Gloosh with a stun. Chaos Bolt, mad explosive, big damage, big Chaos Bolt. That's going to be Gloosh with a Cloak of Shadows at advantage. Trying to see if he can escape. Actually, just a Shadow Meld. Just a Shadow Meld has advantage for later. Kreisbad is going to get hit with a blind. Dude, the Pets fighting Gloosh. They're looking for him. They're slapping him. They're on him. I think it may be over for the Rogue. I think the Pets just got him. Smoke bomb. And this is going to be the Rogue trying to go for a vanish at the last second with a smoke. But it maybe should have just vanished a lot earlier. Very going to be up next as Kreisbad just loaded up Mad Burst into the Rogue. Can he do it again versus Very, however? Is going to try to see if he can get Immolation. Got himself a Reflect. Very is going to get all the dots Reflect back to him. Mordecai early for Kreisbad before Very gets their own Reflect in case they're running it. Kreisbad decided to play a little bit of a mind game. Does the Warlock run Reflect? Elixing the dots on the Warlock together with Immolation and the Pet are actually kind of rotting down. I think going for a full UA and full dots on the Kreisbad was maybe what caused Very to just be super behind at the very beginning. So he's playing catch-up from the get-go. Got himself the Dark Glare, hopefully full down on the Kreisbad, looking for that Shadow Fury around the corner. Cataclysm after. Very doesn't have a lot of health to work with, but Kreisbad actually has some dots on him finally. The Dark Pact is going to try to keep him alive. Drain Life is letting Very recover little by little. At 62% dampening, there's barely so much he could really do. And Kreisbad fear onto the Dark Glare, trying to go for some trades of his own, but Very trade is so much more effective, most likely playing the Drain build. Or if anything, playing the Conduits and the Talons above Drain at the very least, if not playing the actual Legendary for Drain. Reflect on for Kreisbad, just trying to see if he can maybe immune to any kind of interrupt in case Very goes for any. That's going to be Wall out of the Affliction, Warlock Fear by Kreisbad, just trying to see if he can lock out Very as best he can. Incinerates back-to-back, is not going to be enough though. That Incinerate with the flag does get him. And Shadow of Gloosh is going to be up next, as a Succubus is going to be swapped out for Kreisbad. Has no health whatsoever. Has no Infernal. Got immediate port versus Shadow into immediate Succubus CC. Hitting him with a slow. He's gonna have to be very careful. Cloak Shadow's vanish for the Rogue. Every one of those tools. It's just gonna keep him alive here. He's just going into this duel prepared. Gonna be no Cloak Shadows on the Rogue, but a Kezbo does hit him with the Blasphemy around the corner. Shadow Feeder around the corner by Kreisbad, but Gloosh, Shadow of Gloosh was able to avoid it. Gonna be a Rain of Fire back-to-back by the Warlock. Just trying to see if he can maybe get the Rogue out in the open. Into a Trinket out of the Mortal Cold. Dark Pact for Kreisbad. Does himself a Trinket. There's gonna be a port. Maybe a Succubus CC around the corner. Does land the Succubus CC. No Trinket by the Rogue. Has advantage, has a blind. This is where Kreisbad needs to make sure he got the max range versus the Rogue. Does he have anything to follow though? Does he have maybe another Chaos Bolt setup? Potentially. And Kreisbad left. Kreisbad literally left. Kreisbad left. I think he knew that this was going to be over. He ran out of everything. Maybe one of his abilities messed up too. But he did leave. With Jesus is the last one left. I don't even know if Jesus is there. He might have walked away. That was a long duel, man. 17 minutes is too long of a duel. He just literally walked away. Oh my god. Yo, SP, you got a team. Let's go! SP! I missed you, bud. Is Jesus done? Is it over? Yeah, I think he just AFK. IBF for last second. Mercy Winter. Maybe the Death that turns it around. I think it's all in the Rogue. It's the Rogue's game. But maybe Death that just somehow turns around. Trying to go for Flesh Card, decides, you know what? Maybe not worth. Not at this high dampening. And the Rogue takes him. I think this is where if the Death Knight was prepared, was actually at this keyboard when the Rogue attacked him, maybe you could have gotten them. But I like this game. Very interesting. Leaving before Death is a bad taste. I don't disagree with you, Chill Pills. I do understand why some people do it. Because it's like the game is over. You know you're dead.